Staying single brings clarity and discernment. In this video, I'm reminding you that you do not need a relationship to validate your value in this world. You do not need a man to validate your existence and your value in this world. A lot of times, before we actually sharpen our discernment, we choose the wrong men anyway. We go through years and years and years of choosing men who are traumatized, who are broken, and who do nothing but add turmoil and chaos to our lives. Before we actually sharpen our discernment, we choose men that make us stagnant. And when we're supposed to be elevating in life, they actually hold us back. How many times have you felt like you had to start from square one after you left a relationship? How many times have you felt broker than you ever were after leaving a relationship? How many times have you felt like you had to pick up the pieces in almost all areas of your life every time you left a relationship? That's only because you were putting that man's happiness and that man's satisfaction and his ego on a pedestal, and you let yourself go. You decided to love that man more than you loved yourself. Meanwhile, that man was loving himself more than he loved you. A woman's journey in life is learning how to figure out how to discover her value. Because women are the value. Men fight other men for women. Wars are started over women. Men kill each other in the streets for women. Women are the prize. But we have to realize that. And we can't actually realize that until we learn how to love ourselves. Staying single brings clarity and discernment. We shouldn't want a man in our life that brings chaos and confusion. It's not worth it. The cuddles at night are not worth it. The sex is not worth it. The companionship is not worth it. If 50% of the relationship is us crying and begging that man to appreciate us, begging that man to respect us, begging that man to understand our perception and consider our feelings, it's not worth it. In this stage of life, if you're wondering why you're not finding your partner, or you're lost and you feel a little bit, shaken up after a breakup, this is your chance and opportunity to really level up, to really gain clarity, really sharpen your discernment, and build your aura and your level of self-love. Build your confidence. Raise your vibration. This is your opportunity to build the life that you see for yourself. Travel. Join groups. Taste the foods and the restaurants that you've always wanted to try. Go to the beaches you've always wanted to see. to the historical sites you've always wanted to see. This is your chance. This is your time. Love ain't going nowhere. These men ain't going nowhere. But time is the only thing that we cannot get back. You don't want to be in your 70s wishing that you traveled the world. You don't want to be in your 70s wishing that you prioritized your health. You don't want to be in your 70s wishing that you could have done all the things that you had time to, but you were so focused on a relationship that in the end, you couldn't even attract the one that truly matched your vision. Because when we operate out of desperation, when we operate from a vibration of lack, that's what we attract. We attract other men who operate at a desperate mindset. Why? Speaking literally, it's because what we are allowing in these relationships, it's what we're allowing people to do to us. If you are in a relationship and you are allowing a man to yell at you, scream at you, put his hands on you, and put you down, but you still want to be with him, you are operating in a desperate mindset. This is not just some type of spiritual theory. This is literal. The fact that you would be in a relationship that doesn't encourage growth, that doesn't exalt you, that doesn't make you feel like your best self. You're operating out of desperation just to have a man. You're operating out of desperation just to have companionship or to have a sexual partner. It's not real love. Because if you were to take yourself out your shoes, what would you tell yourself to do? If you really loved yourself, if you were your own angel and your angel saw you getting abused, what advice would you give yourself? Your angel would probably tell you to leave. Because that's true love. That's wanting the best for you. So when we lack boundaries and when we lack standards, we automatically operate in a desperate mindset. Meaning that we're going to attract other humans that operate in a desperate mindset. So what you have to do, you have to embrace your solitude. You have to live life in solitude so you can learn yourself. You can learn how to love yourself. You can learn how to treat yourself. You can build a lifestyle that if a man wants to come into your aura and into your house and into your world, he has to be adding value. You wouldn't even allow a man to come into your space if he doesn't add value. And I'm not talking about the bare minimum value, the pay the light bill and pay a phone bill value. I'm talking about things that you can't even do for yourself. I'm talking about things that you can't even do for yourself, that you never even thought to do for yourself. I'm not talking about penny pinching. I'm not talking about going 50-50 just because you never had a man do that before. I'm talking about adding value to your life that you never even thought of. Someone that really completes you and adds value to your life. Not a man that gives you the bare minimum and you appreciate it just because you never had that before. Right? Staying single brings clarity and discernment. We have to learn how to love ourselves first before we can truly love anyone else or even attract pure love. Love is not control. Love is not obsession. Love is not ownership. Love is not infatuation. Love is wanting the best for someone, whether they are with you or not. Love is wanting to see someone living in their highest frequency, being their highest self. Love is grace. Love is patience. Love is understanding. Love is compassion. Love is encouragement. Love is sometimes tough love, but it doesn't make you feel degraded. Just because we've come across so many toxic men, we normalize it like, well, all men are like this. All men are toxic. All men are going to be toxic in some way. No, that's not true. It's just the vibration that you are on. It's the men that you are attracting because that's what you convinced yourself. Do not convince yourself that you have to deal with a toxic man because somewhere in your mind, you told yourself that all men are toxic. It's not true. But you'll never actually know that if you don't experience true love for yourself. Once you start loving yourself, you will begin to attract other people that love themselves. Why? Because your standards will be higher. Well, not higher, but they'll be different. Your boundaries will be different. You're not going to allow people to do certain things to you anymore. So even if you're dating a guy for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the moment he starts to project on you and show toxic traits, it's going to be easier for you to walk away. Whereas before, you thought, dang, I've already been dating this guy. I already had sex with him. Maybe I should just stick it out. That's before you had love for yourself and respect for yourself. But now that you have those boundaries, that you have those standards, and that you have real respect for yourself, it's easier for you to walk away from things that don't serve you. Staying single truly brings clarity and discernment. In order to even identify someone that loves themselves and respects themselves and loves and respects other people, you have to be able to do it to yourself first. All right? Share this video to anyone you feel like needs to hear this message. Always remember, grow in peace, and healing is a journey, not a destination.